Take a deep breath in. Exhale. If you're still in bed, just gently sit up, or you can stay lying down. We are going to be continuing our emotional regulation. We are going to be continuing learning tools on how to soothe our nervous system. And we are going to continue speaking our truth, because that is what relieves the nervous system most of all. Truth. Grand Rising. Hi, Leo. Take deep grounding breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deep breath in. Take a deep breath in and release through your mouth, relaxing your forehead a little bit more, relaxing your eyelids, Grand Rising, relaxing your mouth, allowing your lips to fall however they want to, releasing the tension from your jaw. And if your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, let it fall. Noticing any tension that you have in your neck, release that tension. And allow your shoulders to melt away from your ears. Allow your shoulders to be heavy. And notice your chest. Notice your heart rate. Is it increasing or decreasing? Just notice, don't judge. And if you are flexing or tensing your belly, just let your belly be. let your belly expand. And notice if you and just relax those muscles. And the same for your thighs, your quads. Notice if you are flexing or tensing, and just relax. Take a deep breath and just relax. Your calf muscles, your ankles, your wrists, your hands and fingers, your toes. Relax. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, relax even more. Starting our day with mindfulness, starting our day with intention. This is the new chapter that we are stepping into. No more waking up anxious, and if we do wake up anxious, we use the tools that we have been learning, and we start meditating, and we start to ask ourselves questions. We learn how to soothe ourselves, and we learn how to radically accept the feelings that we're feeling and the situations and the places that we're in, because we have no choice. When we weren't accepting these things, when we weren't accepting those things, it was making us depressed. It was making us anxious because we were constantly wanting to be somewhere that we were not supposed to be. And so it was making us anxious instead of just radically accepting that this is who we are and this is where we're at, with the knowing that if there's things that we know we need to change, we do have the ability to do so, certain things. But that change is what's daunting, and that change is what makes you feel stuck, because that change requires action. And so many of us have been thinking and intellectualizing what we need to do, who we are, what we want. And now we've gotten to the point where we know that we have to start taking action. Hold on, this incense is burning so strong. One second. Hi. Hello. Take a deep breath in. All these cliches that we heard growing up, like the truth hurts, but it does set you free, are absolutely some of the best advice that we were ever given. But we weren't ready to hear these truths. We weren't ready to feel the pain. And now so many of you have been feeling so much pain over the last several years, several months, several weeks. And you are recognizing that even though you're feeling the pain, you're still waking up the next day. You still have moments where you smile. You still have moments where you can crack a joke, and you're actually feeling more yourself, more empowered, more accepting, because you're no longer shaming, or you're working on no longer shaming yourself for having basic human emotions, and you're starting to realize that your sensitivity is actually what makes you so beautiful. It's what makes you so tapped in. It's what makes people actually feel really safe with you to open up, and people like being around you because you see them in ways that they've never been seen before, and it makes them feel so loved, and you don't even realize that you do it. You don't even realize that that is why people like being around you, because you naturally lift people up. You naturally speak life into people. You naturally love just being that cheerleader for people. But now you're coming to terms with the fact that you need the love. You need the support. You need the cheerleading. You're getting to the point where you're feeling that your energy is just almost gone, just burnt out, and that you have been giving and giving and giving to so many people, which is so beautiful, and you've helped so many people on their journey and you didn't even know it. You weren't even aware of it, but now it's time for you to consciously start to help yourself. And that requires you to let go of a certain version of yourself that you know is holding you back, and that's where you feel stuck, because you are mourning this version of you that you don't want to let go of in some ways, because it's comforting and you know what to expect from this version. And there's a part of you that was okay with settling. You were okay with settling, with maybe never finding love or just always being in toxic situationships. You were starting to be okay with this dead-end job. As long as I can just pay my bills and have a little fun on the weekends here and there, I'll be good. But then something shifted in you. Something shifted in you, and you said, this is not enough. I don't just want the bare minimum. I don't just want to be living a mediocre life. I don't want to just do the same mundane thing every day, and I don't want to just settle in any of my experiences with love, career, money, friendship. No, I know what I desire. I know what I feel in my heart. I know the visions that I have of the life that I desire and crave. I know the dreams that I have. I know the things that I love. I've just been really scared to take them seriously. I've been scared to take myself seriously. But I always have so much energy and belief in everyone else, but the person who needs my belief is me. My inner child has been screaming and wreaking havoc on my nervous system, trying to wake me up to the pain and the feelings that we've been avoiding that are ultimately blocking us from our purpose. My inner child, your inner child, has been screaming through all the random tears and the zero tolerance that you feel now, and the way that you get so triggered so easily now. That is your inner child screaming. Look at me. Pay attention to me. Protect me. That is why you feel that overwhelming urge to start speaking your truth, and you feel so personally attacked when you don't set boundaries and you let people walk all over you now. For some reason, it doesn't feel like something that you can just push off. For some reason, it doesn't feel like something that you can overlook anymore. No, it's something that burns deep inside of you now. These feelings of injustice in the ways that you have allowed people to manipulate you, and the ways that people have taken advantage of your energy when you didn't even know. You're coming to terms with who you truly are, the light and the dark. Notice I'm wearing all black today. We're embracing the darkness. We are embracing the parts of us that we thought were unlovable, and we are going to find ways to love these parts ourselves. That way we can actually have a healthy relationship, because if we can love these parts, then why can't other people? The truth is they can. It's just you won't allow them to love you in these ways unless you start to love yourself, because there's parts of you that feel so undeserving. There's parts of you that are carrying so much shame deep down. There's parts of you that don't even realize how angry you actually are, because you've worn a mask of being a people pleaser and being always happy the majority of your life, that you've lied to yourself so good. You've lied to yourself. But the nervous system doesn't lie. But the way that you can't regulate doesn't lie. But the way that you get all out of sorts and you feel the most dysregulated in relationships doesn't lie. Why is it that when you're single, you're confident, and when you get into a relationship, the worst parts of you come out and you turn into an anxious wreck? How come that is? Why? Why do you think that is? Why are you so confident when you're by yourself? But then as soon as someone starts to get close to your heart, no. As soon as someone starts to get close to the triggers, then you start to turn into a version of yourself that you don't even recognize. And the reason why you don't recognize it is because you always shove these parts down. You pretend they don't exist. But they come out in misdirected ways, and they come out when you really don't want them to come out, and they come out when you least expect it. And that's because they are begging for you to acknowledge them. Acknowledge your insecurities. Acknowledge your rage. Acknowledge how angry you actually are. Acknowledge the fact that you get so defensive when anybody tries to tell you something. Acknowledge the fact that you blow up. Acknowledge it. That's all these shadows want, and that's why they come out, and that's why your nervous system is on edge all the time, because you need to be witnessed. Your truth. Stop lying. Stop walking around pretending that you're okay with this. Stop walking around pretending that you're needy for having needs. Stop walking around pretending that you don't have boundaries when people do things and you get mad. It's because they're crossing a boundary that you have yet to vocalize. So it's not just someone waking up saying, how can I make you mad and how can I trigger you today? It's you not protecting yourself by using your voice and acknowledging, hey, when someone does this, it makes me feel this way. It's that simple, but so complex when you've been detached from your body for so long, living in your mind, always trying to get ahead of the hurt instead of feeling it and learning from it and doing something different. You keep trying to avoid it. Swiping left, swiping right, hoping that this time when you swipe, it'll be the person that will come and save you from yourself. Only to end up in another situationship because you're still not ready to be yourself. It's a cycle. Let's take a second. Sarah, we save ourselves, and we cannot save ourselves doing the same thing that we've always done. That's the definition of insanity, and Einstein taught us that a very long time ago, doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if we need to save ourselves, the way that we save ourselves is not by continuing to swipe and try to fill a void with another person. We fill the voids with ourselves, and we start creating music again. We start writing again. We start laughing again. We start riding our bike. We start coloring. We start painting. We start dancing. We start listening to music. We start doing things that we used to do. That is something different than always swiping, trying to use a person to fill a void. That would be something different. Because until you learn that you actually have qualities and you actually have beautiful talents and a whole life outside of a relationship, you will always make the relationship the center of your world. And that way, whenever the relationship doesn't work out, you will always feel like this catastrophic, life-altering abandonment, betrayal wound every single time, not recognizing that the common denominator in all this is you. It's you. The way that you show up, you keep showing up wearing a mask. You keep showing up pretending that you're okay with things that you're not. You keep showing up ignoring certain signs in your body. You shove it down. You drink it away. You try to smoke it away. You rush into things to try to get people attached to you in ways that you have no business trying to get people attached to you, because you don't want to just be an object. You don't want to just be something physical. So stop lying to yourself. And no, you are not the person that can just keep it casual. You're not the person that can just be physical and then compartmentalize. It never works, because that's not how you're built. And you should be happy that you can't just numb things out. And you should be happy that being intimate with someone actually means something to you, more than you try to make it off, more than you try to let it off. And it means more to men too. Don't let it fool you. They do a lot of that out of insecurity within themselves, seeking validation constantly. It's draining. And that's why a lot of people don't have focus, don't know what their purpose is, because they are constantly chasing artificial, superficial dopamine, pretending that it's connection, when really the connection that they are craving so deeply is the one with themselves. But that would require us to actually get to know all of us. And there's parts of us that we don't want to know. This is why we keep running. But when those parts come out, inevitably in the relationships, you get upset when people abandon you. But I need you to start getting upset with yourself, with how you're so scared of the abandonment. Not only are you scared of people abandoning you, but you have a deep, deep rejection dysphoria around rejecting and abandoning other people. You don't want to hurt other people. A lot of this comes up because you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. You stay in a lot of situations because you feel bad for other people and you don't want to hurt them, but really it's just you mirroring back. Every single thing that I like to do as a child, I found a way to make a living doing it as an adult. And maybe I'm not making all my living from just doing music, or maybe I'm not doing all my music from just my book sales. But I said, okay, they said that I should make 7 streams of income. Well, I'm going to do 7 streams of income from 7 creative outlets. That's what I said. 7 streams of income from 7 creative outlets. And that is what I've been working on creating. I think I have like 5 now. And so the public speaking in public is like my big one. That's the big one. That's the big goal for this year, is to be invited to speak at 3 big conferences, making over $5,000 per speech. And that is on the low end because I know that I'm worth it. And I know that especially if they pack out that room in the way that I will be able to feel that energy and be in person and just get my message once I can get past this stage fright that I've been telling myself that I have to step in, I have to do it. And I know that I am going to impact so many people and that it's going to be worth it to come pay to see me. And it's going to be worth it to be in the room and be in the energy with me because I already know how I make people feel through the screen. And it's not me being cocky or arrogant. It's me owning who I am and standing true in who I am. And the more that I own who I am and how gifted I am in certain aspects, the more that I believe it and the more confident I feel and the more that people believe it in me because I believe in myself. But if I come into the room like, I think abandonment wounds are this, and I think that if you have, no, we all have abandonment wounds because we have insecure attachments with our parents. And the reason why we have that is because we were not getting our emotional and physical needs met because we were taught from generation to generation to do certain things. But as we have evolved and as we have become more emotionally intelligent, we have seen that we have done things not the right way. And it's not to shame because we were only doing what we were taught. But now we have to gain new tools to do things differently if we want to raise generations of people who are sovereign, who know their autonomy, who have boundaries, who go for their dreams. And so we can stop and try to eliminate this whole 20-year asleep process where people have to go to sleep and go through all this pain to wake up. And yes, pain is part of the purpose. Pain is part of this experience on earth. But I think that we don't have to go through certain things for so long. I think that we do have free will to make different choices, but those choices scare us. But I think that if we can do it scared, then we can see that it was never scary to begin with. It was always who we were from the beginning. And that's all that we are doing. We are not becoming someone else. We are just remembering who we were before we were stunted, before we were disconnected, before the world got a hold of us. That is all that we are doing. So yes, you're going to start feeling things familiar. Yes, you're going to start feeling like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I love fashion. Wait, I used to make that. You're going to start remembering you've always been this creative, amazing person. And the things that you've seen in other people while you're scrolling here on this app, and people making clothes and people painting amazing art and people who play instruments, and it just blows you away. And when you hear the singers and it gives you the fucking goosebumps and your hair stand up. But then there's a part of you that wants to burst into tears. One, because it's so beautiful to see somebody in their purpose doing what they're supposed to do and you can feel it and you can see it. But 2, where's yours? Where's that moment and feeling for you? You know that's inside of you. You're not only crying because the art is touching you because you're such a sensitive, beautiful soul and you really appreciate art. You're crying because you know that's you. You want to touch people in that way. You want people to see this depth. You want to experience that. You do, desperately. It's not about the money anymore. It's not about the clothes and this and the superficial shit that you thought people liked. You want people to know who you really are, the depths of your soul. You do. You're tired of hiding. You want people to see this side of you. You want to see this side of you again. You miss this side of you. You used to write poems in seconds. Automatic writing like that. writing blogs, making video content and making different movie scenes just for the hell of it. Making up dance routines just to show someone, you used to do that. It wasn't always for money. You used to do it because it was fun, because you enjoyed it, because you needed to express the pain that you didn't have the words when you were younger. That's why you did it. And you still don't have the words as an adult. So if you don't have the words right now, go back to your art. If you don't have the words to articulate all the big feelings that are culminating inside of you, sing. Go get your guitar. Go get that sketchbook, doodle it, write it out, draw it out, paint it out. It doesn't need to make sense to anybody. It makes sense to you. And that is the art that you boast over and Google over and put on pedestals. It's that. When you're scrolling through and you say, oh my God, it's because they've accessed those spaces within themselves and they're brave enough to share them. That's the difference. That's it. You don't give yourself the time because you're so distracted swiping left, trying to find another project to pour your energy into when the project is looking in the mirror right now. You are the project because you're not where you want to be at all. But you have so much energy to help every single person get to where they need to be. But then when it comes time for you to do stuff, I'm too tired and I just work too much. No, you were just on the phone for 2 hours with someone that you know you have no business being on the phone with for 2 hours. Where is it going? What is it doing? It's mindless, distractions, wasting time, and you know it. Because you're scared to actually put the time into yourself, because what could happen? What if I actually make it? What if people judge me? Your ego takes over and then you just go through the same damn loop. Every single time. You get inspired, you're on the verge of taking the leap, and then you distract yourself. You go right into the patterns you go right back into the pattern. You do it mindlessly. And you try to talk yourself, well, they came up to me. I actually didn't even meet him on Tinder this time. I was out at the grocery store and this person asked me for my number. And I could tell that they were just, okay, just because someone asked you for your number, are you not allowed to say, hey, I'm not dating right now. I'm focusing on myself. Be real. Stop saying, I don't want love. I'm not looking. Stop all the lies because you're blocking your blessings. You do want a partner. You do want love. Stop speaking this shit out into the world just because you can't be yourself. That's maybe a lot of the reasons why you haven't found somebody. Because when someone comes up to you and maybe not be the person that you want, you say, no, I'm not looking. I already have a partner. Okay, the universe is like, bet. Because you can't even be honest with a stranger. So worried about everyone's feelings while speaking things to the universe that are not even true. You do want a partner. You just not are interested in this person. Is that not okay? Damn. You don't have to take every single attention, every single look, every single person that gives you the time of day is not always the right person for you. Sometimes they see something that they want from you. Sometimes they see an opportunity that they can get from you. And you don't even realize it because you're so hung up on being chosen by anyone that you see that you've been wanting to be chosen by the wrong one over and over and over again. And when you look at it in hindsight, you see it so clearly. But why don't you see it right now? Why do you constantly go into something else? Whenever the writing's on the wall, you shapeshift and you change the ideas and you do all the things to make it fit a narrative that you want so deeply instead of saying, this isn't the narrative right now. This is what I want, but this isn't it. Why can't you just say that? Why does it have to be forced? Why do you have to jump through hoops and then try to change the person and then also simultaneously, I love you so much. I'm trying to make you better. I don't want you to make me better. I didn't get into this relationship for you to coach me. You want me to change so you don't have to change. You want me to do all these things that make you feel comfortable because who I am triggers you and you can't come to terms with that. So you want me to stop doing things that I do and you want me to be somebody else that I'm really not so that you don't feel triggered all the time. Because the triggering is kicking your ass. You can't stay in this anxious state all day. So instead of recognizing that maybe this is just not compatible, maybe I'm not ready for a relationship, maybe this person is not able to give me what I need. What do I actually need? What do I actually want? Why am I constantly chasing a relationship and I don't even have these basic questions truly answered within myself? I really don't know what I want in a relationship because I say loyalty, honesty. But then when someone's honest, hey, I think I want to open up the relationship, I turn into a different person. I feel so triggered that I want to break things. But you just said that you value someone who's honest with you. Oh, no, you only want to hear things that you want to hear. That's what you meant. I value honesty that makes me feel comfortable. I only want to hear things that make me feel good. Because the truth hurts. But it also sets you free from that relationship. But you don't want to let go of that relationship. So, you see? You see the loop? Hold on one second. We went into it, y'all. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself, y'all. Woo, let me turn on the light. Woo, my knee. Hello. Y'all, can I tell you something? I started reading the Bible because I really was like, I need to read the Bible so that I can really understand things. And so when I turned on the light, it made me think of, and God said, let there be light. Can I tell you, on Sunday, I started reading from the book of Genesis, and I was already 3 pages in. I couldn't even get past 3 pages. I didn't. The contradictions, the misogyny, the way I'm like, is there women in there? Why are we only talking about the descendants of Adam? And then the descendants of Adam are only men? But I thought there was daughter, and how come they don't even mention them? And then it just, in first they said that God, it was dark and God created light, and it was just like, that was the beginning. Then, and 2 pages later, it says the world was corrupt before God. What was happening there? Well, then I need to know the other part. I feel like we started in. I was so confused because I never really sat down and read it, and just like 3 pages in, I said, "Wait, this don't make sense." So anyway, I was just, because I went to church with my mom on Sunday. I'm trying to go with her and do things more because she still goes, but she's never been a parent that has been like really pushing me. And then my dad is definitely anti church and religion and corruption. He's told me about it since I was little. So it was just like, no. But I definitely allowed myself to go to church when I was younger. Even though my dad used to talk so much about it, my mom would still go, but she didn't pressure me. And I really appreciate that my parents didn't force me anything, even though my dad was very opinionated, and even though my mom would go to church, they didn't, I don't know, I just didn't feel pressure to do anything. And so I did start going to this church, this mega church, with a friend who is evangelical. Her family, her mom was, but I did feel that lost feeling. I did feel like, how come I'm not like connected to God like people, and I feel weird, and why do I feel like a fraud? And so when I was like in elementary school and middle school, I had such a contemplation around like, who am I? Am I really a good person? I had really dark thoughts. Because I'm like, why am I naturally not like, yeah. And I do like certain songs, and there's certain songs that really touch me. It's just the music in general, but like all the messages and the ideology attached to it, I knew at a young age I didn't really resonate with, but I really did try to see the perspective. And so I did go to church on Sundays, and I did go to the Bible study, but I told you at a young age, when I would be doing the stuff and singing it, I didn't feel authentic when I was doing it. And then I remember when they finally said in the church, if there's anyone who would like to give their life to Christ and you're ready to do it. And so her mom, and my parents weren't even there, which now looking back, if I was a parent, I'm not letting my kid just go in this and learn all these things and just go get saved and joining churches at like 11 years old with I'm not even being there. It's just, I see how much my parents just let me just do whatever. And I'm like, no, I needed more boundaries. I needed more guidance. I needed you guys to ask more questions with where I'm going. What are they teaching me? And so I finally joined the church, and then I went up there. And I remember the pastor doing the thing, and they were speaking tongues and stuff like that. And then I remember him tapping me on the head, and I feel like he was insinuating for me to fall down and like catch it, the ghost or whatever. And I remember being in that moment authentic with myself and being like, that tap did not make me fall over. And so I just stayed standing up, and then he like kind of pushed me a little bit more harder. And then at that point I started the people pleasing. Like it was like, oh, like I need to perform, like I need to do this, because like I just felt that energy. Like if I don't do this, I feel like he's going to be embarrassed. And then I just went through all that so quickly because I was already really conditioned to appease people, especially men at that young of an age, because of the things that have already happened to me at that age. And so I fell down, and then they put the red, like this red sheet on me, or I don't know if it was red, but they put like a little cloth on me, and I laid there for like 10-15 minutes. I didn't know when I was allowed to get up, but I laid there and just pretended to be out, I guess. If I was supposed to be passed out or unconscious, I don't know what I was supposed to be, but I just laid there and just closed my eyes, and then he was kind of like, okay, you can get up, you're done performing now. And then I got up, and then, I don't know, like I just felt like, what am I doing? I don't know. I just felt like what am I doing? I guess. I don't know. So, yeah. And then I did that for a little bit. And then eventually I like kind of gravitated away from it because I guess I wanted to experience the dark side. I guess I wanted to experience life, and I just didn't feel like I don't want to just go on Sunday, but then still do the things that they said I wasn't supposed to do. So I guess I was just like, I'm not going to go at all because I just don't want to be fake. And I just feel like I'm fake doing this. This is not what I feel. I don't feel it. And so then I went to the dark side, and I just allowed myself to date, and I had sex, and I did the things. And I can understand the concepts of what people are saying through your body and waiting, and not necessarily to marriage, but I could see the idea of that now. And I actually am living my life more like that now, not for God, but for myself, because of how it makes me feel and the way that I need to do for me. Not and that separation between I'm doing everything for God just doesn't resonate with me. That separation really bothered me when I went to church on Sunday, because I was just like, I feel like it's kind of misleading, and it's making people think that they don't really have to actually do the work and look into things deeper within themselves. And the pastor said several times, oh, why are you still dwelling over that thing 20 years ago? Shake it off and move forward. I said, babe, I wanted so much. I was like, am I supposed to be doing this? Because I really wanted to be in church and say, hey, like if it was that easy for people to just shake it off and pray about it, we'd be better. But people are avoiding things. This is why stuff is not really changing in their lives. And we actually have to heal this. You can't just shake it off. And these things that we went through are building the person that we are now. And we actually have to address it. God helps those who help themselves. And so in which way are you actually taking action? Because yes, prayer is an action, but it's also inaction from actually doing the things to make your life better, and then God being able to show up and give you more blessings. How can God get the book out if you don't write the book? You can't just pray about it and then the book comes out. It's avoidant. It's avoidant to me. And I really think that people don't step into their truest potential because they're spending so much energy trying not to disappoint this God. Well, simultaneously, you're disappointing yourself, not even having the human experience that you deep down want to do. If you have a contradiction, if you have to do all these things and then pray about it, if you have to do all this stuff and then confess about it, you have to do all this stuff and then repent, then maybe this is not in alignment. If I always have to keep abandoning and doing all these things, why is it so hard? It's not hard for me to treat people good. It's not hard for me to live in my truth. I'm not feeling like I constantly need to confess for something because I don't feel like the things that I'm doing are wrong. The meaning that you're giving the things that you're doing is why you ultimately feel like you have to keep confessing about it or repenting. It's the meaning that you're giving the actions. If I don't think that being intimate with somebody is a sin or is evil, then it's not going to impact me the same way that it's impacting you. Your ideology and your belief is what's hurting you. And so if this belief is hurting you on a daily basis and you can't get it together, then maybe this is not something that it really resonates. Maybe it's not something that you really believe in. Case in point, when people are so homophobic, it is because they are so upset seeing somebody live in their truth, because it's so depressing and angry and hard for you to not live in your truth. And so you want me to feel the same feelings that you're feeling. And so you project all of this stuff that you've been told about me, but really you're speaking to yourself because you're just like me. You're just not in the light. You choose to stay in the dark while pretending to be in the light. And that angers you. And that frustrates you, that I'm brave enough to speak my truth, that I'm brave enough to love who I want to love, and that I'm not following these arbitrary rules that clearly you don't even agree with. That's why you have to do all these things behind closed doors. Because aren't you supposed to be in his image? Aren't you supposed to be in his likeness? And does that mean that that only applies when people are watching? I didn't think so. So the contradictions that you feel are not going to continue to be the projection of hate that you want me to feel. I don't feel it. I bounce it back and send it back to you. For once, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, especially not the words that I know are not true. They only hurt me when I gave meaning to them. But rubber, what am I? I am rubber and you are glue. What you say bounces off of me and sticks to you, bitch. That is true, because it doesn't penetrate me anymore the way that you wanted it to. It doesn't penetrate me. It doesn't hurt me anymore the way that you want it to. So therefore your words are powerless when it comes to me. It may get somebody else, but it won't get me. And that way I'm not as entertaining. I'm not as fun, because what you want is my reaction. What you want is my fear. What you want is my rage. What you want is my anger. What you want is to know that I actually give a damn about you, because you don't give a damn about yourself. You want to know that someone actually cares, because you feel so lonely in your own life. And I'm not going to be that for you. I'm not going to be your entertainment. Those are the things that we just need to say and own and feel. Be real. Look at people for who they really are. You give people way too much fucking power in your life. Way too much power, especially people who are not even a fraction of the human that you are. Not even a fraction of the kindness and the heart and the integrity that you have, and you over here letting people that could only hope to really be close to you the ability to break you down and to make you see yourself other than who the fuck you really are. You are doing that because you care so much about how you're being perceived, and you have not loved certain parts of yourself. So therefore, when you find out that other people don't love these parts, it breaks you down. See? Oh, I knew people could see it. I knew people could see the things in me. Yes, I'm ugly. Okay, that's what you believe about yourself, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to get this. That's what you believe about yourself then. If you already have an insecurity about your face, if you already have an insecurity about your nose, if you already think that your nose is ugly, and then someone points out your nose, of course you're going to crumble, because they're just reinforcing what you already feel about yourself, which means that you're seen. Your insecurities are seen. And that's what makes you feel so ugh. But if you can just get used to it and say, okay, am I going to get a nose job? No. Okay, how can I find ways to love it? And why don't I like it in the first place? Why did I stop liking my nose? Oh, maybe because there's generations and generations and generations of people who have conditioned you to think that your nose is ugly. So do you want to believe those people, or do you want to look in the mirror and choose what you want to believe about yourself? Or do you want to believe what people have told you over and over and over again that you should believe about yourself? Your strong mind is you can hear these things about yourself and still not have to take it to heart. That is how you train your mind, and that is how your mind becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. You can tell me everything you want to say about who you think I am, but I know who the fuck I am. And you can't be in this type of energy running from the parts of yourself that you think are ugly, running from the parts of yourself that you are insecure about, running from the parts of yourself that you don't want nobody to see. You need to be able to be seen in your wholeness and be standing with integrity still, because you have every right to be, because the things that you've been through create a story. The things that you've been through tell a story. And why are you so ashamed of your story? It has made you the beautiful, intelligent, emotionally tapped in person that you are. So you wouldn't be some of these parts that you really love without the painful things that you've been through. I need you to acknowledge that. And so does your inner child, because they are tired of being overlooked, and they're tired of these parts of them always being said, these are bad, these are wrong. You wouldn't be the beautiful person if it wasn't for me. This is what your inner child is saying to you right now. You wouldn't be this emotionally intelligent depth artist if it wasn't for me. The things that I had to endure, the things that I tolerated, the things that I had to adapt to are what has gotten you here. Don't forget where you come from. And stop being ashamed of my quirkiness and my weirdness. It's exactly what makes you so cool. And you would see how cool you were if you weren't spending so much time trying to fit in with everybody else. Of course you don't see your talents when you're blending in. What do you expect? Of course you feel dull when you want to get the same hair and the same this and the same body and the same this of everyone else. Of course you don't feel that same spunk and zest for life. You're not unique anymore. You're not unique anymore. And that is by design. Find your uniqueness again. Find your uniqueness again. how I allowed myself to just make a mistake. I used to be so scared to play this on here because I was like, no, they have to play something perfect. They need to see me, and they need to see me playing it perfect. And then my inner child was like, girl, we just got this like a month ago. Why can't we just have fun? And why does it need to be perfect? And why can't we just vibe with our friends? Like, why does it have to be so pressure and serious all the time? Why can't we just put the drum down and just vibe with our friends? Like, you're so worried about the wrong shit. Like, just show people that it's okay to make a mistake. That's the medicine. And I was just like, gosh, every single time you just always tell me the right thing, little inner child, I love you. And you know, I really what's in it, Erica Badu said this in an interview I saw not too long ago, and it was something that I actually adopted myself before hearing the interview, even though she said this way before I adopted this principle within myself. But she said she always tells people, find the thing that comes the easiest to you. Find the thing that comes the most natural. Find the things that come so effortless to you, and find a way to make a living doing that. And that was a mantra that I did. I get paid to exist. And then I really sat with myself. What does Kristen existing look like? What is it? What does it mean for me to exist? And for me to exist is to share my knowledge. For me to exist is to speak. For me to exist is to play music for people, to help people heal. For me to exist is to write books. For me to exist is to crack jokes and use my comedy to help people heal and to uplift and to bring medicine and laughter. These are the things that I love to do. And so I said, okay, then how can I make a living doing this? And so this is where I started putting out music. And this is why I started writing my book. And this is why I started coming on and making content, because I just love educating. For me existing, I'm a natural teacher. I love to teach. It's just like something I get so excited about. And I recognize it within my body whenever I have a client or someone comes up to me like, hey, can I ask you a question? And they tell me something. And as soon as they start telling me the scenario, bing, 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 all the things that download. I'm like, oh, been here before. I know exactly. Oh, and it's just like a synergy that comes over me. I'm like, yes, I know that what I'm about to say is going to like rewire their brain in a certain way. I know that what I'm about to say is going to make them feel seen or heard, probably for the first time, or I know what I'm going to say is about to confirm or reiterate something that they've been thinking all week. I just know it. I know that my words are medicinal. I know that I'm placed with the right people at the right time. And since I know this, it happens all the time, and I'm so aware of it, and I can't unsee the fact that a complete stranger is like, wow, this is exactly what I needed to talk about today. Oh, it's fancy I met you today. I am not, come on, I can't get over it. I'm not going to just sit here and ignore it. It happens too much every day. And so once you know that, life gets fun, because you're just like, ooh, I'm working. And then that's when you know that you will be taken care of and you are doing it. And even though you may not see all the money right now, this second, the ways that you are gifted and the ways that the universe sees your efforts for the things, these little conversations that you think are nothing, but really are so life altering to some people. And that's when sometimes you, oh my God, I just got this free ticket. It's so funny. Or, oh, I just found $100. Or, oh man, I got the front parking spot. Or these little things that we just don't even see our spirit team just like looking out for us. And when we start to really recognize it and live in it and believe it, and then instead of going to the parking lot saying, oh, we're probably going to have to park so far in the back. No, I'm going to get the front spot. I'm going to find a spot. We are going to find a spot. We're going to go in. We're not going to be driving around for 30 minutes, and we're going to go have fun tonight. And you'll see how things really do turn around for you. And you'll also recognize how much your mindset was shifted in the opposite direction, even if you weren't conscious of it. There were so many of you that consciously always thought the worst. And you always would say things like, this is just my luck, or this shit always happens to me. Okay, then it will continue to always happen to you. It's the energy that you're in. It's what you're calling into your life. The words are spells. You do speak negatively sometimes and then wonder why things, you call it in. You're such in that energy. You're looking for it. Shift your perspective and to see what happens. Like if you have so much energy to think the worst, then why don't you just shift that energy to think the best and just see what happens. Just do a little social experiment with yourself the next couple weeks. Be conscious and super aware of your thoughts. And when you see yourself thinking something that's not even in alignment with what you want, who you are, then I want you to replace that negative thought with 2 positive, truthful thoughts. 2 truthful thoughts, and really think about it. And I want you to say it. Okay? You're going to have that interview with Jim Carrey. The episode is going to come out, and I'm excited. Me too. Hey, if you guys don't know, I'm going to be interviewing Jim Carrey. He doesn't know it yet. He's already being primed for it right now because I just put it out in the universe and my spirit team knows what I want and what my baby wants, my baby gets. And I'm going to interview him. It really just hit me, and I think that he would be a perfect person to speak to. I think I would love to first just tell him how much he's inspired me and how much that the comedy and the person that I am is very much influenced by his ability to really get into character and to really put the whole effort into himself. And so this is why when you guys see me really in my jokey mood, I'm all in the faces. I love it. I love doing it. And it's just like I want to put my whole heart and soul into making people laugh. Like I really genuinely get so much joy, and it fills my cup up when people start laughing at my jokes. And then when I can tell that you really think that my sense of humor is funny and you're genuinely laughing, oh bitch, the jokes just come in so quick. The jokes just start coming in even more because you're feeding my soul with the laughter. And it's something that I genuinely love to connect with people. Like I love it. And so I can't wait to talk to him about that and just tell him how much him being himself and just being like this full character has really inspired me to be my full self at such a young age, especially when it comes to comedy. And I'm going to talk to him about, the things that I already know. Obviously, I'm going to do my research, bitch, because if I'm going to have time with him, I'm going to ask him some really great questions because he's smart as fuck. So I'm going to be doing my more research, but just talking about depression and comedy and the correlations between that. I want to know, how he started coping. And if, I know that comedy is a way that he coped, but I want to talk deeper in that. I want to ask him some challenging questions, and I really want to think of some intuitive questions that maybe no one has ever asked him. I want Jim Carrey to be like, damn, no one's ever asked me that. Oh, all right. I want him to I'm going to have to really chill out. But I want to ask him that. And then I want to talk about the world, and I want to talk about these conspiracies, and I want to get real, and I want to give him that platform, which I know he doesn't need me as a platform. He has a ton of them. But I do think there's so many people that are scared to really have him on his show because he does talk about some real controversial shit, and he is not scared to call out stuff, and people just don't want to be associated with it. But I like the truth, and I feel so protected. Okay, let me see. Leo, I watch Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Oh my God. They really are so funny. Oh my God, Leo, I'm so glad that you watched it. I love that message. Was so cute. You're like, okay, you always talk about Jim Carrey. Can you please send me some movies? I've never seen his movies. And I'm so glad that you actually watched one of the movies already. Pet Detective is like my childhood. And Pet Detective is a big influence. And The Mask. The Mask, the way he does his jaw, that's when I started being like, oh, the laugh that I do, I'm like, that's Jim Carrey. I cannot sit here and do that and say that that was something I created. I started doing that, and I do it all the time. People crack up all the time. They're like, you're so crazy. I'm like, no, that is Jim Carrey. I cannot claim that. It's Jim Carrey, bitch. I cannot claim that. I got that from him because I thought that was so funny when I was younger. I was like, he's so animated, and I was like, I want to be brave enough to do these crazy ass faces. Leo. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, I love him, and I really love what he stands for, and I love what he has brought to my life. And it's crazy because I've never really felt this way about a celebrity. I don't idolize people like that. I'm not like, oh my God, but it's just, these are just genuine feelings that I feel. And that's why I feel like he'd be the perfect person, because I don't want to kiss his ass, and I don't want to be like, oh, you're Jim Carrey. No, it's just like, yeah, you're Jim Carrey, and you're a real ass person. And that realness really transferred to me, and that realness really inspired me. You inspire me. So maybe he's watching right now. Hi, Jim. But yeah. I love this. I love love. I love giving people flowers. See, this is what I'm doing right now. This is one of my favorite things to do. And if you're going to be a close friend of mine, if I'm going to consider you a best friend, you have to be able to receive this type of love, because this is my love language. So the way that I receive love is one way, but the way that I like to give love, my number one way that I like to give love, number one, is words of affirmation. And then the second one is quality time. I'm trying to get better and being more thoughtful at gifts. I used to be really thoughtful at gifts, but I feel like I got jaded from feeling taken advantage of a lot. But that was on me for doing things too soon for people that didn't deserve it from me. They deserve it in general, but they just didn't deserve it from me in that way. But now I'm finding my heart opening back up, and I'm starting to have these thoughtful things like, oh, my friend said she's sick. I think I'm going to make her some soup, where I feel like I lost that part of me for a while. And then when I lost that part, people were doing a lot of gifts for me. And so I knew that it was a very divine lesson when I didn't have the capacity to really be thoughtful and giving, because I was so hurt and just angry, and I just didn't have it. I didn't have it. I couldn't fake it. I just didn't feel like giving these gifts and doing all these things. People were just still showing up to me and giving me gift baskets and doing things, and it made me feel like shit, because I'm like, man, my friends are like doing all these sweet things for me, and this is like, for some reason, I'm just in an energy of not being able to return it. And that's when my spirit team was like, you return it in so many ways. Stop looking at tit for tat. The conversations, the way you sit on the phone with people for 2 hours, you don't think that that is like a gift? You don't think that people are valuing you, holding space for them? You don't think that helps people heal? You don't think that helps people feel better and move forward in life, when you just have a landing board for them to speak their truth unapologetically? And then that's when I had to say, no, yeah, like I really have felt like, because maybe I haven't had this much money this season in my life, and I have to be more like responsible in that way of like, okay, maybe I can't buy you all these things, but I can hold space for you for 2 hours, and you can come over and watch a movie with me. That's like what I have to give right now. And then like, so yeah, but so that's how, so everyone has the love language. And so I'm trying to accept that some people's love language is gift giving, acts of service. And like, just because that's not the way that I give it, doesn't mean that what I give is less than, you know what I'm saying? I think that sometimes when people give you monetary things, it's like a dollar amount. And so then you're like, well, how do I put a dollar amount on like how I held space for you? And not that I'm trying to even think of it that way, but I need to actually like think of the things that I do as more valuable, because sometimes it makes me feel bad that people are doing more and I'm not doing enough as a friend. And that's something I've been sitting with. Like, I want to feel like I'm doing enough, but I also have to say, like, some of my friends, their love language is doing these thoughtful gifts, and they're really good at it. And then whenever I get a gift, I'm like, damn, I want to be thoughtful like that. And so then I say, well, you can be, just because it's not something that maybe comes as natural to you, you can be it. And so then what I started doing with all my best friends, I have a folder, a notepad of each of my best friends. And every time when we're just talking randomly, I will write down something. When they're like, oh, I love this, me and my dad used to do this, I'll write down that. If they say, oh, I used to love this candy. A lot of my friends are not from, all of my friends are like immigrants, to be honest. All of my friends are from different countries, and I just love it. And so they're like, oh, this is my favorite candy from Puerto Rico. And then I'll write down, okay, favorite candy from Puerto Rico. And so that way it'll help me when it comes time for the gifts, because I just feel like I can't think of stuff. I don't know. So now I have a whole list, and it really helped me. And I was able to send one of my best friends this really cute "Just Because I Love You" box. And so I'm starting to send my friends "Just Because I Love You" box. And then once I get like 10 things of that I've collected on the list of things that they've thought of, I go get the 10 things, and it's so random. And it's not cohesive. It doesn't go together. And I just write a letter, "Just because I love you." And I send it on a random time, far away from their birthday, far away from the holidays, just a random time. And that is how I've been really trying to like integrate that, because I like how it makes me feel when people do that. And so I was like, well, I want them to feel this too, in this way too. And so they can feel the words of affirmation, but it's also nice to just get a random surprise from your best friend just because they love you. You know, I think that's nice. And a lot of my friends are in different states. A lot of my close friends, like 2 of my close friends are in California. One of my close friends is in Miami. And that's in the same state, but it's still like 4 hours away. So we send letters to each other. Me and my friend in Miami, she sends me letters, and I'm going to send her a letter. She like hand writes cards for me and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, I've never been loved in this way, but this is what I've always wanted. But I had to make the space for it. And I had to get honest with where I wasn't feeling it in my current relationships, and make the space for people to love me the way that I wanted to be loved without having to beg for it. And it just feels so effortless now. And it makes me want to do more for them. And it makes me want to protect them even more. And it makes me never want to gossip about their business. And it makes me always want to protect their secrets now. And I just want to be a better friend than I was in the past. And even though I've always consider myself a good person, I can also admit that I fell in my darkness sometimes, and I would gossip and talk about people, and I was really insecure, and I would project that. And I don't like that version of me. And I've really been trying to heal that. And I'm healing it through the way that I'm showing up in my relationships now. And just, if I catch myself getting ready to share someone's business, being like, wait, no, like that was not for me to share. That's not, their life is not my entertainment with my other friend. No. Would I want them telling this? No. And so I've really like caught myself and been like, wow, it's so natural for me to connect with people over this kind of stuff. And I don't like that. So let's connect over what we're doing. And then luckily I have my friends, we like connecting over our goals now. We like connecting over like, yes, we're going to open this business. That's what we talk about for hours. And it just feels so satiating. And there's often times where I get off the phone with my friends crying, just crying like, thank you. Thank you so much for this support. Thank you so much for putting these people. Because the way that my friends, when I tell them, hey, guess what? I wrote my book. Oh my God, yes, yes. Oh my God, babe, you're so smart, like so intelligent. Like that, like, and I know they mean it. And I'm just like, wow, this is like, you guys make such a big fucking deal about me. And it just makes me cry all the time when I get off the phone where I'm like, damn, my inner child needed this. This is why I feel so confident writing my books. Like your reaction does matter. Damn, like you think my book is that good? Like, why are you being so, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's so good. You're like, it's just crazy. I just didn't know how much I needed the words of affirmation that I always give other people. I feel so emotional today. The tears are probably coming, and maybe there's one of you that needs to cry. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, babe. Hi, Diamond. Hi. I just feel so emotional because I've always thought that like, unless I have this romantic love, I just feel like nothing. I feel incomplete. But once I started really loving myself, I allowed other people to love these parts of me that I so desperately needed to be loved. I needed to be seen in my bad behavior, and then have a friend still call me the next day and say, hey, okay, so what are we doing? And then me be like, wait, we just had a disagreement yesterday. You still want to be my friend? Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, we worked through it. So you're not holding a grudge and you really want to be my friend? Yes, babe. What are you talking about? What are we doing tonight? That rewired my brain. That rewired my brain. When I lashed out at some of my friends, one of my best friends, Rachel, she loves me so much, and like her love literally triggers me sometimes. And she's just so like, and sometimes I will take my anger out on her, and I'm very aware of it when I do it, and I'll call her back crying. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry for the way I talked to you. I snapped at you and I just don't want you to feel it. And she's just like, babe, I know you're going through a hard time. Like, I understand. Like, I know your heart. You don't have to. And it's just like, why are you? And I literally cried. I'm like, why are you so nice to me? And she was just like, because I love you and you're one of my favorite people and you love me and this and that. And I'm just like, I have not had this reciprocal love in this way. I have not had this reciprocal love. It feels so like, and I thought that it was just, you give me $1, I give you $1. No, it's like, I am only at 20% right now, and I don't feel like I'm at my best place, and I feel like I'm treating someone I love like shit because I can't handle my own feelings right now, and that makes me really shameful, and I don't like that. That's not the person I wanted to be, but I'm working on it, and it comes out. And then when it comes out, you still love me. When it comes out, you don't judge me. When it comes out, you don't bring it up a week later. When it comes out, you hold me accountable. You tell me how it makes you feel. And then you still love me the same. You don't take your love away from me. You don't change the way you love me. You just keep showing up. Like that rewires my brain. It rewired my brain, and it let me know I am still lovable even when I'm not my best self. I'm still lovable even when I make mistakes, and these mistakes don't define me. And also, because I've been so vulnerable with my friends, they understand my story, so they do give me grace with certain things because they know and they see the effort I'm making, and it just makes me feel so comfortable to be myself. And it just feels so good to be in a relationship where I'm not being monitored based on one experience, and that all these other things that I did just go out the window because I did one thing that you didn't like. And what about all the other efforts that I've made? What about all the other ways that I've been a good friend? And so I've had those situations happen. It has happened where we've had one falling out, and so the fears that you have around this are real, and they are valid because you have been abandoned for your thoughts, even by people, the two people that you thought were going to love you the most unconditionally, which is your mom and dad. And so if you have the idea that your mom and dad can't even accept parts of you, and they're supposed to inherently be the one who accepts you the most, then I can understand your fears around a new stranger coming in and accepting these parts of you. And so I can understand why you've hid them and shoved them down for so long, because that messaging from mom and dad is powerful. That messaging from mom and dad is so powerful, and it has shaped the framework of how you feel about yourself and how you look at yourself. And you're waking up to that, and that's why you're starting to create new frameworks so that you can live a happier life, because you realize it's not your environment externally. Well, it has been, but for the biggest part has not been your external environment. It's been the internal environment, which has manifested externally. So the way that you feel about yourself, the way that you feel about love, the way that you feel about money, the way that you feel about friendship, your ideology about what love is, your definition of what love is, has manifested. So if you look around and you see, okay, this is what I've poured my energy into, how do I feel about this? You're going to see, okay, I think I had some gaps and maybe it was a little skewed because this doesn't feel like what I thought it would feel like. This doesn't feel like what I envisioned or what like I've been desiring. And so then that's when you realize maybe the way that I've been perceiving love has been through the lens of someone who doesn't have a capacity to love like I do. But actually who I am before all these projections and before all this conditioning, I actually am one of the most loving people that I know in my life. I am one of the most loving people. I know that about myself. And I deserve to feel this. I deserve to cultivate this more in my life. And you do that by letting go, and you do that by and see that the friends that you had around you all this time really didn't. You know? Sometimes you listen to content where you see people and they talk about how friends and how they show up and how sometimes they don't support you and they don't like your content and they don't reshare anything and they don't do those things. And you know, when you listen to that content, you think deep in your stomach, in the pit of your stomach, well, that's my best friend. And that hurts when someone calls it out, when someone calls it out in a video and says, you know, they don't like you, they don't like any of your stuff, they never follow your things, they don't hype you up, they don't reshare, they don't do it on the same day when you launch something. Maybe they repost somebody else who launched something instead of posting you. All those things sometimes are orchestrated. And when you see videos of people talking about that and you can't help but think of that person, you know who you're thinking about when those videos come up. So then you have to ask yourself, if I'm aware that I'm being treated this way, why am I tolerating it? It always comes back to you. That's the first page of my book. It always comes back to you. That's the first page. It always comes back to you. So yeah, at some point you have to really get tired of your own stuff. The patterns and the addictions that we have to start weaning ourselves off of them. We have to get help. We have to get therapy. We have to go to rehab if we need it. We gotta start taking bigger steps, because I think some of you guys are recognizing that some of these addictions and some of these things that you can't get through are bigger than you a little bit. And that's okay to admit. And I've had to admit that to myself too. Maybe I can't just get through this. Maybe I am having a really hard time like stopping. Maybe I do need to put a little more effort in trying to heal things. Yes, I know, Cynthia. I know. When we're so starved for love, when someone gives us breadcrumbs, we treat it like a 4-course meal. And I have been there and still am there. And sometimes I've been so starved for love that when someone tells me a few nice words, I used to eat it up and just believe everything. And it was just so blind. And I get why. And I don't shame myself, and I love the way that I love, and I cannot wait to give my love to the person who is meant to receive it, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm not only excited to receive the love that I've always desired, but I'm also excited to have the space and the safety to give my love in a way that I've never felt like I was able to give it in relationships, because I could never get to these depths or safety or emotional connection with anybody that I've been with. I've never been able to get to a deep connection with anybody, because everyone I was with was comfortable being on the surface, because I was too. How are we feeling today, guys? How are we doing? I love it. Love is addictive to me. Yep, I won't beg, but I'll endure pain just to feel connected. And the fact that you're so aware of that and you know it, how do we stop that? How do we rewrite that story? Why are we knowingly hurting ourselves? Why is the pain something that you're so connected to? You're connected to the feeling something. But you can feel something by yourself that's better than pain. You can feel pain by yourself. You can feel euphoria by yourself. You can feel bliss by yourself. It's familiar. Yeah, it is. I just want a new normal. I would like a new normal. I don't want to continue telling the story to myself that love has to hurt. I don't want to continue telling the story to myself that love is secretive and love is shady and love is scary. I don't want to keep perpetuating that narrative anymore because it's not true to me anymore. It's not my reality. If it was something that I believe in, then that's what I'm going to continue attracting and accepting. And I refuse to attract and accept that anymore. Maybe I'll attract it, but I refuse to accept it anymore. And I really hope that you do too. I really hope that you choose little Cynthia in the end. Hi, Ruby. Take a deep breath in. To recognize that you have the power to be who you want to be and that you no longer have to resonate with these parts of yourself anymore. You can from one day to the next to say, no, I'm not entertaining this anymore. I'm cutting all of it off. Everyone who's not serving me is getting cut off. You can do that. You just choose not to because you're scared of the pain and you don't think that you're strong enough to do it, and you've forgotten how strong you were. You've gotten through way harder things than this, and it's just, I need you to remember how powerful, how resilient you are. And this is where everyone says, well, I shouldn't have had to be resilient as a child and I shouldn't have had to be strong. Okay, well, I'm so glad that I had to go through that, because in adulthood it kicks your ass and you need to be resilient and strong to get through this life. You do need to be resilient to get through life. You do. And so I'm glad that I learned resilience at a young age, even though I shouldn't have to. But who says that I shouldn't have to? Who says that? Who says that I shouldn't have had the life that I had? Who said that I shouldn't have to do these things? No, I needed to do it so that I could pave the way for future generations. It's what I signed up for because I was strong enough to handle it. It's what I signed up for because I knew that I needed to feel these things finally, and I wanted to break the cycle. I wanted to break the cycle, and so that's why I am, and that's why I'm so excited to give my nieces and my future children a softer life because of the things that I've had to endure. And I'm okay with it because I'm resilient enough to get through it. I was resilient enough to get through it. I had the tools to get through it. So I'm okay. I know. I'm so self-aware now that I'll never go back to I know. Those patterns be sneaking up on you in certain situations, man. Like being in like romantic relationships, it's just like such another level. So I definitely know how much I feel right now and what I'm feeling about myself and what I say I'm going to do, but I also am very aware that my triggers and my abandonment wounds are super deep. And so I'm also giving myself the grace to know that, like, I'm probably going to go back into some patterns from being triggered until I really feel that trust within the person. But who knows? I could feel the trust right away, just intuitively. I could just feel it. So I don't even want to speak on how my experiences are going to be, but I also am just open to the fact that I am not going to be perfect, and that I'm okay with that within myself, that I'm not going into the relationship saying, okay, I've done 5 months, I've done 5 years of healing, I'm over the abandonment wound. No, I'm not. I just haven't been triggered in that way in 5 years because I haven't been in an intimate, deep relationship in 5 years. So I know that once that comes, there may be certain things that come up from my subconscious that don't come up because I'm not in a relationship right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm very aware of that. So I'm very humble to the fact that no, I'm not just fully healed and I'm just this and that. No, I know I'm not. So the moment I think I conquer trigger opens up again. Always. I know. Always. Hi, Dr. Barry. Good to see you too. So can we take a deep breath in? And then can we do some oming today to close out the sound healing? We've kind of been closed out going here and there, but I want to just take a second. We've had a lot of downloads today. I really feel like I was very stern earlier. Spirit was very stern and the way that I was giving the downloads because I'm speaking to myself, but I know that a lot of you need to hear it this way because the grace is becoming toxic. You're giving yourself too many excuses and you know the frustration is because you know that you're ready to do better, but you're just scared to. There's a difference between I just got out of this breakup, I need to rest versus no, I'm ready to go and I'm just scared to take the step. There's a difference and you need to discern between the two because sometimes the grace is keeping you in a toxic, stagnant place because you're like, okay, I used to be so hard on myself. I used to be so hard. So let me swing the pendulum all the way to the other side and just not hold myself accountable for nothing. I've always been putting so much pressure on myself for so long. Now let me have 2, 3, 4, 5 years of just, okay, now you're seeing you got to come back and balance. These bills are coming in. Your life is moving. What's going on? Yes, you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself, but you got to put some fucking pressure. You got to apply some pressure to get things moving. That's what it takes to create a diamond. Okay. So you got to have balance, but you also got to say, nah, I got to pull myself out of this shit too. Just because it doesn't feel good, just because of it. No, it's not going to feel good all the time. You can't just be walking around. I can't do anything that doesn't feel good. Okay. Then you're not going to be able to get through this life. So at some point, enough has to be enough. And you have to say, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the anger. I'm tired of how it makes me feel. I'm triggering myself at this point because I know better. I'm triggering myself at this point because I know better. And then inadvertently, we make other people feel like they're not enough because we just can't admit that we need more. We feel bad or we are okay with just taking the bare minimum, but our higher self is like, no, fuck that. But our human self, our wounded self is okay with accepting the bare minimum, but our higher self is like, no, fuck that. But then our wounded self and it just, you keep going through this contradiction within yourself with what you know versus how you keep showing up. And that's where the frustration is. That's where the frustration is because you know better. And when you know better, you feel such an inclination to do better. That's why people feel like it's a burden going through these awakenings because ignorance is no longer bliss anymore, guys. Ignorance is no longer bliss. You are wasting your time, resources, energy every single day that you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you choose not to do it. And then you want to find somebody to point the finger. Stop. Stop. I'm tired of the conversation. It is not anyone else but you at this point, and you know it. They are treating you this way because you are still in their life. Period. That's it. That's all. I love you. I love you. It's because it's a story that you keep telling yourself over and over. That's why. It's the same story over and over. It gets old. And you know it. And then eventually people will evolve away from you because it's the same thing over and over. And there's nothing else that anyone can say. And then people evolve away because they just leave you with the space to finally step in and meet your higher self. The conversations are stagnant. They're not going anywhere. You know? been there. I've been there. And you know, because of the awareness, you know when you're telling the same thing over and over. You know it. You know when you get to the point where you're just like, I am so fucking tired of talking about this. I am so tired. I'm embarrassed at this point to just keep being in this. But, and don't be embarrassed. Be honest with yourself. This is hard. It's a deep addiction. But we have to treat people the same way that we treat, drinking. If you are a recovering alcoholic, you can't be around alcohol for a while, and you know it. If you are recovering, it's one of the number one rules. You have to make sure that your environment is conducive, because we have to admit that sometimes we don't have the discipline enough to say no, and that's something that really brings a lot of us shame, especially as adults, that we are grown adults, but we just don't have the discipline within ourselves to parent ourselves in the way that we need to be parented. We don't have the discipline because we have the free will. We keep choosing the darkness. We keep choosing things that are not good for us. And that is frustrating. That's frustrating as an adult. It's frustrating as someone who is aware of the pain that they're in, but then you just keep choosing the same thing because you feel so weak for some type of love or attention, which shows how starved and disconnected you are from yourself. The more and more that you want to be chosen by someone else, the more and more that you feel heightened and super anxious to be chosen by someone, is such a deep indication that you have to choose yourself. And what people don't realize is chasing behind somebody repels them. They may entertain you and be in your face, but they're not going to choose you because the energy is not attractive. It's not. It really isn't. 100%. It's not attractive to be somebody that you can do whatever you want and walk all over me, and you can do this and do that and I'll still take you back. You can do this and do this, and you can walk all over me, you can cheat on me, and I'll still take you back. Do you think that is making somebody, that's not making someone feel like, yes, that is the fucking partner I want to stand next to me, the warrior? No, it's showing, no, this person doesn't know who they are. That's all you think it's doing the opposite of what you think it is. It's doing the opposite of what you think it's actually doing. And it's not only repelling lovers, it's just repelling people in general, because you don't see yourself, and it's not comfortable to be in that energy around someone who constantly doesn't see their worth and constantly is tearing themselves down and constantly talking shit about themselves. That energy gets draining, especially when it's so far from the fucking truth, and you can see how powerful and talented the person is, but they constantly want to perpetuate this narrative. It gets old. Something that is at that point, it becomes really individual for the person. At that point, there's nothing anyone can do or say. At that point, there's no love or anything but the love that the person has to culminate for themselves, and you have to dig so deep for that love. And it doesn't look like just a bubble bath, and it doesn't look like getting your nails done, and it doesn't look like taking yourself out to a fancy dinner. It means doing the things that you know are best for you, even though every fucking day it challenges you. Doing what you know is best for you, even though every single day it challenges you. And you choose to take that challenge every day, and you choose yourself every day, even though everything in your being is telling you to choose something else. You stick to what you know is best for you, because you have the discipline and the self-respect and the self-love to say enough is enough. I am worth more. And the words of me saying that are not enough. It is not enough for me to say, I know my worth and I know what I deserve. No, you don't. Those are just words at this point. Prove it to yourself. You don't. Those are just empty words. Because if you did, you would behave differently. That's it. That's all. It really is that black and white. You make it gray. It really is that black and white. You make it gray. gotta get down. You have a whole world in here that you need to process and understand so that you can better understand other people. And once you better understand yourself and you better understand other people, you won't take things personal. You won't tolerate BS. You'll see where someone's at without them having to even tell you. You'll be able to have a conversation and say, okay, yes, no, this is not someone that you'll be able to tell right away. You'll be able to feel the energy right away. The things that people used to tell you that used to turn you on and be that it's going to repel you. Yeah, man, I need someone like you in my life. I need someone like you. Yeah, girl, I need someone to get me in straight and get me in line. Okay, now when I hear that, that doesn't make me feel, oh, he needs me. No, it makes me feel like you need to do some work and I'm not going to be over here letting you drain the fuck out of me because you don't want to do the work. And no, you need yourself, bitch. You see, the tables have turned. I'm not the same Kristen. What's that thing? Christina's gone. I'm not that. And don't come talking to me crazy on the first day off the street saying, yeah, I really want to know what you taste like. Bitch, what the fuck did you just say to me? That's not cute. Why are you worried about what I taste like right now? All these things that I used to let slide. All these things that I used to think, oh, did you say, no. I'm going to set the tone from day one. Why are you worried about that? Right away, you just met me. Why are we even talking about what I'm doing in the bed and what I do? Why the fuck is that even the conversation? You just met me. These are the boundaries that I didn't have. This was the voice that I had lost. And no, I don't have to cuss like that and do that, and I won't be like that. I'm just talking to y'all. I'm just in it. I'm in it. But it feels so liberating to know that if I get into a situation and I go on a date with somebody, the anxiety that I used to have because I didn't feel like I was allowed to say no, that I didn't want to kiss them should they try to kiss me, that anxiety is gone. I used to have crippling anxiety in dates. If I thought that, oh my gosh, they're going to want to do something and I can't say no because if I say no, they're not going to choose me and they're going to think I'm all these things and I cared so much. Now, we're definitely not kissing. I'm telling you that right now. I'll tell you from the beginning. We're definitely not kissing. Unless I really, really feel it is super authentic. But 9 times out of 10, we're probably not going to kiss on the first date. I know that now within myself because it's not something that I want to do. It's not something that I'm going into a date feeling like I have to do. It's not something that's important to me right away. And so I'm going to stay in my lane and I'm going to do things how I need to do it. And I'm not going to conform or be conditioned or jump through hoops just because the person I'm on a date with is a little more open with their physical touch. If I don't feel comfortable with the physical touch, there won't be any. Because it's my body and it's my choice and it's what I want to do. And I'm not here to appease you. And the person that I want is the person who respects that from the beginning. So by you acting a certain way from my truth, it's letting me actually weed you out and not waste time. You see what I'm saying? Because if I tell you, oh no, I definitely don't do that. And you're like, oh hell no, I could never be with somebody that's going to make me wait. Check. Oh, you thought that was going to make me drop these draws? Check. Oh, you thought that was going to make me try harder? Checkity check, check. Oh, you thought that was going to be reverse psychology? Okay. Check. It didn't pan out. That's where I'm at now. And because I feel that within myself now, it's not scary to me. I don't have the same perception of dating and these things. Yeah, I'm just not even going to go. Like some of the dates that people talk about, I wouldn't even get to that date because before we even get to the point of wanting to see each other, I'm going to be talking to you, vibing with you, asking you questions, seeing if this is someone I actually want to break bread with. We're going to talk. We're going to take it slow. We're going to text. We're going to see what's up. Like, see if we naturally do it. I'm not going to hold you to no expectation to text me every morning because I don't even like that shit. I'm not going to hold you to no expectation for you to text me at night. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to see how you show up naturally. And then when it comes to whatever conversation, I'm going to let you know how I felt and what I need and what I'm feeling. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to let you know. And I hope that you let me know. And I hope you don't kiss my ass. And I hope you are honest with what you don't like. And I hope that you tell me, so that we can actually have a real shot at this or not. But all this lying and being the representative and wearing the mask is fucking old. It's tiring. And it just gets people in situationships with people that they really are not compatible with. But they were playing a role, trying to play out this fantasy, playing house without the commitment, having sex without all the shit that you're trying to play just because you don't want to say this person has my heart or this person's committing to me and I'm this and that. All this shit. Then maybe you shouldn't be doing all the other things because that's what's really getting you into the emotional state. Having sex is what's making you feel this way. So maybe you need to reevaluate what is it? What is it? What is it that you really want? Because you say that you're okay with just keeping things physical, then why are you having all these expectations and all these phone calls and they didn't do this and do that? They don't have to because they're not committed to you. It's just physical. But you want all these emotional things, so stop lying to yourself that you don't and then getting mad and blaming the person when they don't show up in the way that you really wanted them to because you pretended that you didn't care about that part. That is on you. And we do that a lot. Hold yourself accountable. Be real about what it is that you really want so that you can stop being the victim when people show up in the way that you say that you want them to show up. Casual. Light. Fun. Are you feeling casual in this situation? Are you feeling light in this situation? Are you feeling fun in this situation? No, you're feeling heavy. You're feeling used. And you're feeling anxious. Because you're not that person that can lay up with somebody without a commitment. And the sooner that you can accept that about yourself, the sooner that you'll start feeling more protected and safe. And you'll stop being the victim blaming that everybody's using you, when really a big part of it is you not being honest with yourself. Own that shit. And if you know that you're not strong enough to fight temptation, then stop having people over at your fucking house watching Netflix. You know that you're not strong enough to do that, so don't put yourself in the position to do it. Where are your own boundaries? Where are your own boundaries? How do you protect yourself? Because you can't control what other people want. If a man wants to come over and fuck you, he's going to have the intent to come over and fuck you. So do you have the boundaries in place? That's the truth. And I'm speaking like this because you need to hear it in this way. Because I think sometimes as women too, we do fall into that shit where we don't feel allowed to, but we want them to read our mind and we want him to be that. No, say what you need. And if it's not it, be brave enough, strong enough, and confident in yourself enough to walk away. Stop abandoning yourself and doing something that you don't really want to do only to feel abandoned by them when they don't show up how you really wanted them to show up. You abandoned that part where you said, no, I do want an emotional connection. You abandoned that part and then you felt abandoned by them when they didn't give you the emotional connection. The abandonment started with you. Period. People are not out here supposed to be reading your mind. Not everyone is as intuitive as you are. Stop projecting that onto people. Speak up. Just because you know what people are thinking doesn't mean that everyone knows what you're thinking. You are gifted. And the sooner that you can stop putting yourself in this bucket of NPCs and I'm everything like everybody else, the sooner you'll start to realize that you are fucking different. And you'll stop projecting your light onto other people and trying to get upset when they can't meet you at this frequency because you're really at a much higher frequency than most people, but you just don't see it within yourself. So you settle for this low vibrational energy and people on the outside don't even understand what attracted you to this person in the first place because we see your light, but you don't. And why are you with somebody who is obviously dragging you down and sucking the life out of you? Obviously. It's obvious. But when you're in it, you can't see it. When you're in it, you can't see it. And that's why you need to listen to other people sometimes. And that's why you need to stop hiding these parts of your relationship because you're ashamed. If you have to hide certain parts and you have to turn off your location because you don't want people to know that you're doing the same bullshit over and over again, maybe that's an indication that you shouldn't be doing it if I can't do it with pride. If I have to sneak around because I don't want my friend to know that I'm entertaining this motherfucker that cheated on me for the third time. You're ashamed because you know that you deserve better. You're ashamed because you know that you deserve more. But you're also ashamed that you're okay with taking what you can get right now because you felt so empty and numb your whole life that these little breadcrumbs feel like a 4-course meal. That's also what brings you shame, is that you're aware of certain things and you don't care. And it shows you how much you really don't care about yourself. It really does. So you can walk all day long and pretend to be this and pretend to be that and walk out in the club and take the picture and have the outfit on and have the Gucci shirt on and do all the things and think that you are creating some perception. But when it comes down to it and people see your behaviors, we see how insecure that you really are. You're not hiding from people who are not hiding from themselves. And this is why you subconsciously keep people around you that are okay with hiding, because you don't want people around you that are going to call you out, because there's a part of you that doesn't want to accept the truth either. So as much as you want to point fingers and say, they are so emotionally unavailable, and I'm so tired of these emotionally unavailable men, look in the mirror and ask yourself where you're also emotionally unavailable, because the fact that you abandoned your needs and something that was important to you also is emotional unavailability. And you're also manipulating them, thinking that you're okay with certain things. Only for 6 months into the relationship, it gets so triggering that you can't hold it in. And now you're about to see who I really am. You've had 6 months of me being like this. Hey, I'm okay with it. Hey, I'm okay with it. Hey, I'm the cool girl. Hey, I'm the cool girl. Till all of a sudden, what the fuck are you doing? I'm so tired of you talking to that bitch every fucking time you're talking to that bitch. And then you want to wonder why people are motherfucking scared. What the fuck? For 6 months, you told me that you were okay, and now you can't fake the funk no more, and who the fuck is this? And now you have shame, because now this person that you wanted to see you as the cool girl sees that you actually can be a little, whoa, that was scary. I've never seen you in that way before. Whoa. And now the shame comes in. Oh, they saw the shadows. They've seen the shadows. Oh, fuck. Now they've seen me. Now they're never going to love me anymore. Now we go. Once you show that initial shadow, it's a wrap, bitch. It's a wrap, bitch. It's a wrap, bitch. It's a wrap, bitch. Hey, it's a wrap, bitch. It's a wrap, bitch. Get ready for the anxiety. Get ready for the anxiousness. Get ready, because they saw you. Oh, they saw you. Oh, they're going to love what they see. Do they like what they see? Oh, no, you got to do damage control. Jump through the hoops, bitch. Jump through the hoops. Jump through the hoops, bitch. Jump through the hoops. Now you're hypervigilant. Hypervigilance activated. Now that they've seen me and my crazy, will they still love me? Now, 2 days after the fight, everything's good. We're good. We're good. You're looking over, they're really good. Oh my God, they're probably already texting somebody. I was so crazy. I'm sorry. So then you start over explaining. I'm so sorry, babe, the other day. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Babe, are you for real? Are you really over it? Yes, babe, it's fine. Like, it's okay. It was just a fight. Listen, are you sure, babe? Because you don't trust. And here it is. Here's all the insecurities. And then you start diminishing yourself, because that persona, they're not seeing you in the same light. They don't see me in the same light anymore. I can't stand that they don't see me in the same light anymore. I just want them to see me the same as before this. I know. Yeah, I know all of it. It just sends you into a spiral, because you're not used to being seen, and you can't believe that someone would actually love you after seeing that ugliness. I know you think it's ugly. I can't believe I acted like that. The shame. I know. You can't believe that someone would love you after seeing that outburst, because when you were younger and had that outburst, you got your ass tore up, you got a whooping, you were sent to your room, you were ostracized, you were shut down. So why would this person accept you when your dad couldn't? Why would this person accept you when your mom couldn't? Aren't your mom and dad the two people that are supposed to be able to deal with your tantrums the most? Inherently, you would think so. But a lot of you guys and a lot of us didn't get that love and care. And we didn't get people to sit down and say, why are you mad, honey? Talk to me. Speak to me. Put a heart in the chat. I don't think there are going to be no hearts. No. Yeah. How many of us, honey, tell me what's wrong? Why are you so upset? Okay, I know that you're mad at me. I know that you understand you have a right to be mad at me. Mommy lied. Yeah, mommy lied, and she was not honest with you, and you have a right to be mad, and I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to help you calm down. Where the heart's at? Did we put a heart in the chat if that's how you were talked to? Quickly. Hi. I love that. That's beautiful. I love that. That is beautiful. A lot of people were not talked to that way. So if you put a heart in the chat, know that you are blessed. So how many of you have heard the words, I'm sorry, from a parent? Genuinely. How many of you have never heard the words, I'm sorry? Put a heart in the chat if you've never heard the words, I'm sorry, from a parent that really hurt you. I'm lying. I got beat. Now, Healing Mute, don't be trying me like that. I said, oh, damn, okay, Healing Mute, like, I need to talk to you. I'm about to hop off and get an interview, bitch. I want to talk to your parents. Can I interview and see what happened? How old are you? I had questions. I said, wow, you goddamn. I was about to put a heart and say, we need to interview your parents on my podcast. Okay. I want to put them on there. What was the tools? Can they give them to, what were them used? I needed, okay. Yeah. Put a heart in the chat if you've never heard, I'm sorry. You have heard I'm sorry from a parent. I have now. My mom changed that for me, but up until a while, I never have. Put a heart in the chat if you've never heard I'm sorry from the parent that you really, really want to hear I'm sorry from. I'm 70. Kids were seen and not heard. Yes, my mom is turning 75 and she's healing from that too. Yeah. Yeah, my dad, all the way up until my dad's deathbed, while he was, just on there, while he was passing, there was a point where we didn't know if he was going to be able to speak again. And I have the piece of paper, and his hand was really weak, and he wrote with a marker, I'm sorry. He could not speak it. He literally could not speak it. But when we were getting to a point where he was like, I don't know if I'll be able to talk again, my dad with a note, I know it. It was like, it's really hard to like read it, but I could tell. He wrote like, he went like this and you could see it, and he spelled and he put that, and I just was just like, I have it like in my drawer. And I was just like, wow. And you already know at that point, I was just like, it's okay, Dad. It's okay. Just focus on getting better. Just focus on you. I know your heart. It felt so good. But I was just like, wow, I hear you and I accept it and I forgive you. I've been forgiven you. It felt so good to say that and really mean it. Not just to appease him in that moment, but really mean it. I had already done the work up until that point. I had already grieved my father 2 years before he died. I already grieved the father that I kept trying to project him to be. I grieved the father and all the expectations that I had on him. I grieved the anger and let go of it. And I really realized, damn, I wish that I would have had the capacity to get here sooner. And I know that I got there at the exact time. But that yearningness is why I speak the truth now, just so I can maybe help someone else. Maybe I can help someone else recognize and see their parents' pain in a different perspective, and not to invalidate their own, still holding themselves accountable, holding people accountable. But we can heal without hearing those words, I'm sorry. I had already healed without my dad saying I'm sorry. I no longer needed that when he said it. I promise you. I no longer needed my dad to say sorry when he said it. I promise. I didn't need it. I didn't need it. It was something that I had finally let go of a year before that. I know. You will, Mia. You will. And it felt so good. Like, wow, finally, the first time in my life where I didn't need it, he gave it to me. You see? You see? That neediness repels. The confidence and the love attracts. I needed the apology. I needed the apology, and he wouldn't give it. And as soon as I let go of it energetically, that's the testimony right there. That's the testimony right there. Whew, I feel so powerful within myself. Forgiving my dad was one of the most powerful, most challenging things I've ever done in my life. Forgiving my dad, and I'm so grateful that I got to that forgiveness before he left this earth, and I had 14 months of bliss and euphoria, even though that he was sick and even though he was dying. It's a weird feeling, and I know it may sound really weird to you guys, like, oh, you had bliss and euphoria when he was dying. No, it happened to be at this time that it woke me up, and I got to experience my dad in a way that I never had, and I got to ask questions, and I got to see him, and it actually made me have I have grace for him, and I feel bad. I have compassion, even though he's hurt me so deeply. I understand where the hurt comes from, and I see that resilience in myself, and I see that it didn't break my spirit, and I didn't turn into him. And even though I'm healing certain characteristics and certain narcissistic traits, and I can be honest with that, gaslighting, I can be honest with the ways I could gaslight the fuck out of people. I could manipulate the hell out of people, but I'm choosing to use these skills for good now. And that's why it triggers me so much if I fall into a pattern where I know that maybe I'm taking advantage, or maybe Maybe I'm not being truthful with what I know. It bothers me. It hurts me. It makes me feel like shit. It makes me feel like a bad person. It triggers the fuck out of me because I'm like, I know better. It doesn't matter if I have the ability to manipulate someone. I know that I'm doing it and it fucking hurts me. So that's why I'm like, nope, I got to be honest. If I don't like the person, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. I am not going to fall into that. And I see the duality of how easy it is to be able to use those gifts for good and bad. And my dad used a lot of it to manipulate people. He was very smart emotionally. He was very smart. He knew when he could get, oh yeah, she's weak. Oh yeah, she doesn't have strong sense of self. She's malleable. My dad thought like that. And so I have to admit, he thought like that. And then when I started getting older, and he used to do that to me. It's my little daughter. I can mold her. I can make her. Then when I started getting older and seeing the truth for myself and seeing my dad for who he is and not who he tried to portray himself. And I started seeing the stories that he used to tell about my mom. This shit's not adding up. I used to see the stories that you keep telling. This shit is not adding up. All these stories are where you're the victim, but I see your bad behavior. So what the fuck? This gaslighting is not working no more, Dad. You tell me one thing, but I'm seeing this shit with my own eyes, and you keep trying to make me feel like I'm not seeing it. I see it. These words are not working no more. I'm seeing it. I see you. I see you. I don't know. I'm not that little girl anymore. And so when I started seeing him, that's when he started changing towards me, and he started feeling weird around me, and he started feeling insecure around me. And I could feel it. I could feel it when I would actually talk back, and I would actually be like, oh no, I don't agree with that. And he would just be like, oh my God, like you really aren't a little girl anymore. I've been trying to tell you since I've been trying to show you this for a long time. Yeah, like I've grown up and I've learned things, and I would really love to share it with you. But you don't give me any space because you are so comfortable in being right all the time. And you're so comfortable in this role as my father, the all-knowing, that you don't even allow me to teach you nothing. You don't even realize that I could teach you stuff if you would just be quiet for a second. Your sense of self is so dependent on being the wisest in the room. But the wisest in the room can be quiet sometimes too and observe. I'm still processing, as you can see. Thank you for holding space for me. Sometimes I realize the messages are not coming from spirit. Sometimes I'm just talking to you guys, and you guys are just holding space for me. And this is why this relationship is so reciprocal and beautiful, because I can feel the shift between when I'm talking to you guys and I'm delivering these messages and I'm being that messenger and filter through spirit. But then I can also tell the difference where I'm just literally talking to my dad and just letting you guys witness me and letting you guys witness my truth. And it feels so good to just say these things, because I realize there's still certain things that are just stuck within me, because my praise Jesus, not a demon. Baby, do you see a demon in here? Oh my gosh. Do you see? Let me know. That was wild. They just said praise Jesus, not a demon. Okay. Oh. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I can tell when that converted me. But like it just really like it just feels good to be at this place, and it feels good, and I don't know what I was saying because this shit be just crazy. It's just crazy. You know what? I think social media makes it so fun. I do, because I think like, okay, imagine like being in real life. Imagine being in real life and you're in the grocery store, and it does happen. And we don't have to imagine. All you do is stand on the corner in some major city and you'll see somebody with a megaphone. But just imagine just in line, and then someone comes up to you and says, praise Jesus, not demons. And then just goes back. Like, what if your cashier was just doing that? Your cashier is just like, do, praise Jesus, not demons. Do. That was the testimony. I'm not making fun of it. I just think that it's just so random. It's jarring. I just think it's jarring. That's jarring. I'm not mad. I'm not. I just think it's interesting in the way that you chose to send your message, I guess. That's all. I just was talking about the way you sent your message, not that your message itself. I just think that your delivery, sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm just trying to help you because I want you to get your message out and I want people to actually listen to you and I want people to actually take you seriously. But if no one tells you that how you're delivering your message is kind of weird, then you won't know. And even though your messages don't deliver and doesn't resonate with me, I want it to resonate with somebody. And then clearly you do, right? The whole point of you being a messenger is to be witnessed and for people to actually hear what you're saying. And so I'm just trying to help you out. That's all. And so if you think that's me being mad, I think that you need to sit with yourself a little more. So anywho, that's all. I'm just trying to help you out by being a mirror. All right. Even if I'm not resonating with what you're saying, I also want you to be successful in whatever it is that you want to be. But why are you on live saying you talk to spirits? Because isn't the Holy Spirit a spirit, the spirit that you told me to praise? And that's what I'm praising right now. And I'm understanding why you're telling me one moment that I'm supposed to praise Jesus, which is a spirit. But then you're also telling me that it's bad for me to be talking to spirits. So what is it, babe? It feels like you're contradicting yourself in this moment. And I'm just trying to learn from you. But if I'm going to learn from you, I need you to be consistent. Quickly. Oh, okay. So anyway, you got the attention that you wanted. Wait till I pull out the tarot cards. Wait till I pull out the tarot cards. Wait till I pull out the oracle cards. Wait till I pull out. You were right about me. You were right about me. Get off the live now. Get off the live now. Get off the live. Get off the live. You were right about me. So if you believe in what you're saying is true, you better get off the live. Get off the live. If you believe in what you say is true, get off the live and repent. That was fun. I needed that. Okay, so anyway, I'm out now. Why do I do this? Why do I continue to do lash? It's just me. I like it. I know. Oh, sorry. It's still, I'm switching back. Hold on. I learned that from Men in Black. You know them people in Men in Black, that one big guy that was like big? I got that from Men in Black. I'm really influenced by pop culture. Oh, Lord, I need a second. Sorry. You're lucky I didn't do the music with it, because if I really wanted, if you really wanted to fuck with it, hold on. This is what I usually do, but on Instagram, they're really big on the music. But let me just play for a second. Hold on. This is what I really do. This is what I really do. You want me to really go all out. I mean, I can go all out, but let me know. Let me know, bitch. I should have been in theater, kid. Why wasn't I in theater, bitch? Why was I'm burning up. Hold on. I gotta get up. I gotta shake this off. I'm cracking myself up. I gotta go to I have so much to do today. I just don't have time for this. But it's just funny to me. Okay. All right. I just like it. Any chance that I can get to be theatrical, bitch, let me do it. That's why I should be a movie. I don't know why I didn't do this. I need to be a movie. I need to do it. I love it. I love it. Let me be in it. Okay? Okay. Maybe we should pull up here from the book. Let's pull a few. Let's see what we got. I'm sorry. I just think about people who randomly come in and just saw me doing that. I don't know why it's so funny to me to think about. To think about someone just coming into my live with no context. I don't know why, with no context and me doing that. I don't know why. Because I'm thinking about what I would do if I was laying in bed and I was scrolling and someone was doing that. I don't know why. I would be like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Look, we wouldn't have this moment if I was too scared to be myself. You see what I'm saying? Authenticity creates such beautiful moments and inside jokes and laughter when people are not scared to be themselves. And I'm so glad that that person wasn't scared to be themselves, because I needed you to say, praise Jesus, not demons. And that, look what you started with. Look, your truth just started all this. So thank you for speaking your truth so I can speak my truth and we can all be true. And see, we're in alignment. You got your message out and I got mine. I love it. Look at us co-creating. Wow. Okay. All right. Hi, Austin. I had a friend come in and say, she said she's yelling a lot. Oh my God. I don't know why this shit is cracking me up so much right now. Lord. I just realized, girl, you're being crazy. I just realized you really are getting motherfucking comfortable, bitch. People are watching, and that's okay. That's okay. If my future partner's on here, hi, welcome. I love you, babe. I hope you love this part of me too. You never know. My mom always, stop doing those things. No, I'm doing the face. Austin, that cracks me up that you told a friend, not you, I sent my friend to your live. The one day I send my friend to your live, you're having a fucking exorcism. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, if those of y'all just, you guys got to join. You got to see Kristen. She's really be speaking the truth. And then you send them a live. That's the point, bitch. What is this shit that you just sent me talking about? This person speaks the truth. What the hell is this? Okay. Oh, I just think that's so funny. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Damn, we were just talking about this. Okay, if you have my book, if you didn't know, I wrote a book. Okay, I got real fed up. I said, listen here, I need to write this book. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm ready to have some passive income. I'm tired of these bills kicking my ass. I'm being honest. I'm tired of this. I know I got a lot of in me. I'm telling you, this is the reason why I wrote it. This is a conversation. I got a lot in me, and I know these uncomfortable truths and these things people need to hear. And also, I'm tired of being broke, and I'm ready to put myself out there, because God said, meet me halfway. Is that what he said? He said, God helps those who help themselves. And then, so yeah. Anyway, that is what inspired me. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I'm telling you that is because a lot of you guys are tired of it too. A lot of you guys are tired of it too. And you just need to do the shit. All right. So page 79, if you have the book, page 79. Okay. What were we talking about today? You fell in love with the idea of who someone could be and got angry when they didn't live up to the standards you set for them. What were we just talking about today? I love when I pull my own messages, like from my own book. It's so cool. Just like, this is my book. You fell in love with the idea of who someone could be and got angry when they didn't live up to the standards that you set for them. That's how it's going to be read on my audiobook. So if those of you weren't on yesterday, I'm converting this into an audiobook. And then I was getting to thinking, I'm not going to be reading this and this, like, have to do this like this. You fell in love with the idea of someone. And no, I'm not reading like that. I'm going to read it to you guys like I'm sitting next to you. And I'm going to say, you fell in love with the idea of who someone could be and got angry when they didn't live up to the standards that you set for them. It's going to be a video too. I'm not going to just do audio. If you download the audio, I'm going to see if there's a way that it can come with a video. And then I'm going to be in different areas of the world reading different pages, because I'm just going to be fabulous traveling, because I love traveling. So maybe I'll read page 47 in Paris. You never know. But in Paris, I'm going to say, you fell in love with the idea of who someone could be And then you got angry when they didn't live up to the standards that you set for them. Yeah, but I still love you. Next. Literally, I'm going to do it with my personality. I'm dead ass. I'm not kidding. I'm going to see. I don't know if anybody has it like that. Does anybody know that anybody has had like an audiobook that also is visual where the person is reading it? If not, I think I want to create something like that. And maybe like on certain ones that are really popular, maybe the really big uncomfortable truths that resonate with a lot of people, maybe in the video book I go a little bit deeper. So the one that is really popular that a lot of you guys found me on is page, I think it's page 3. Page 3 is one of my most popular quotes. It's gone so many viral videos off this quote. It's crazy. You guys really resonate with this. And this was a download that I got like 4 years ago. And I wrote this 4 years ago and no one cared about it then. And then all of a sudden, this particular quote just went crazy. And I was just like, really? I've been saying this shit. But it just wasn't the time. And anyway, perfect to show you that something that you wrote 4 years ago could end up being the one thing that like is it for you. So you don't want them. You want them to want you because your abandonment wounds from childhood made you hyperfixated on being chosen. I don't even know why I did that, like as if I haven't memorized it. But you don't want them. You want them to want you because your abandonment wounds from childhood made you hyperfixated on being chosen. Hey, Sheena, as you come in as I'm reading the quote. Hey, Sheena, as you come in as I'm reading that quote. Hey, Sheena, as you come in and I'm reading that quote. Hey, Sheena, as you came in and I'm reading that quote. You don't want them. You want them to want you because your abandonment wounds from childhood made you hyperfixated on being chosen. Okay? So, for that one, I think with my book, with that one, since it was so popular, I'm going to read it. And then I think that one's going to be extra dialogue. And so maybe in the video, I read it to you and I say, okay, let's go a little bit deeper in that. This came to me because of this. And I maybe give you the backstory. And it's going to be a prelude to the next book. This book is going to go into my next book. Okay, so this book corresponds with my next book. So this book is all about the truth. It's one word. It's the thought. The next book is going to be the ideas and the process on how I got to this. So if you guys are reading this, you're like, damn, I resonate with this, but what do I do with that? My next book is going to be how I even got to this conclusion. What was my wake-up call? What was that turning point moment for me? And then what are the steps that I started taking to heal it? Because I want you guys to know more information on how to do this. So I love it. I'm excited to film this and figure out how to do the video version. Okay, page 62. Page 62 from my book, Uncomfortable Truths, which you can get a copy on my website. And the website is linked in my bio. I did fix it. Thank you for you guys yesterday telling me that my link was gone. I have no idea where it went or what happened, but it was indeed gone, but it's back up, KristenUnderwood.com. That's where you can sign up for my one-on-one calls. That's where you can sign up for my workshop that I have at the end of January, 131. And that's also where you can do any sound healings or in-person events or anything, readings. I do 45-minute in-depth readings for those of you who have done like a little personal reading with me and you want to go deeper. So I have a lot of things, but we have a shadow work workshop at the end of the month and it's $25 for 90 minutes. And I'm so excited for you guys to understand and identify your shadows. I'm so excited for you to be able to speak to them with clarity and confidence. And I'm so excited to teach you guys that it doesn't have to be so scary and that you can't accept yourself with grace. And it's okay that other people won't accept you. And it's okay that you may lose people. And yes, it's going to hurt. And yes, it will be challenging. And I'm not going to lie to you about that, but you are strong enough to get through it. And if you have a desire to heal, it's because you're capable. It's because you're ready. You don't just have this desire to heal because you're not ready. You wouldn't even know about this. You didn't even have the awareness of this 5 years ago. You didn't even have the awareness of what was possible 10 years ago. And so you are coming into yourself in a really big way. And it's really beautiful to witness. And I just want to provide a safe space for some of you who need it and who are not ready to just blast everything to everyone, but you do know that you need to get in front of a group of people and be able to speak your truth a little bit more and be honest about where you're at. And that is the first step, getting comfortable. Because the more comfortable that you can get with yourself, the more comfortable you are showing who you are with anyone, because you recognize I'm dope, I'm amazing. And yes, I have things that I'm working on, but that doesn't make me any less dope or amazing. I've been through these things. I've had all this abuse that has happened to me, and I'm not a victim anymore. I've survived it, and I am finding the tools and listening to tools and gaining new tools on how to be the best version of myself, because I am not going to sit here and be a victim my whole life. I have things to do, people to help, lives to build, love to fall in, and I am done replaying this narrative over and over from my past. I'm not enough, and I'm not this, and I'm not that. Deaf friends, yes. Yeah. I love that. And having the facial expressions and being able to have the captions up. It's going to be beautiful, Mia, because I'm going to, we'll have captions, we'll have my words, we'll have my expressions. I'll make sure to enunciate so they can maybe do mouth reading. It'll be perfect. Yeah. So you guys, I love this. Okay. Page 62. What did I even read it? What the hell? All you want is to be seen for who you truly are. And ironically, that's what scares you the most. Page 62. All you want is to be seen for who you truly are. And ironically, that's what scares you the most, girl. That's what scares you the most, boy. That's what scares you the most. So yeah. Ugh. Anyway, let's pull a few cards. If you enjoy my book, you can check it out on my website. I love your page. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Please make sure that you're following me on YouTube. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me there. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me there. On Instagram, I do post way more up-to-date stories and what I'm doing and what I'm happening in life. I'm trying to get better at doing that on TikTok. I'm just not used to it. But also the YouTube is where I'm going to start going live. I'm going to start transitioning out of TikTok. So my TikTokers, I know I have such a big community on here, but please follow me. Consider following me on YouTube if you want to continue these lives, as the censorship is just been too much on TikTok, and I refuse to not be able to be myself just to have an audience. So make sure that you guys, my leg is getting a little bit better. It's a lot better, actually. I just need to be able to stretch it, and it's getting there. Like, it's getting there. Once I can get the full range of motion back, I'll be doing much better. But man, not being able to fully flex my knee hurts a lot. Okay, so yes, please follow on YouTube. It's Stay Hype. Follow me on YouTube. It's Stay Hype. Also, thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate you. Thank you, Steph. So good to see you guys. I do have to hop off a little bit earlier than usual today because I have a job interview with something and someone, a company and something that I think would be really good for me, just to create a little more structure in my life, just part-time. And to be honest, I really want to have better benefits, because I told you guys I had, Obamacare through Marketplace, and before the subsidies, it was great. It was awesome. But with the administrative changes that have been made to healthcare, my co-payment was $1,250 to get my stitches out, which took 5 minutes. And so I really had to rethink, okay, I don't have $1,250 copay. This is crazy. I've never had a $1,250 copay. So I just said, okay, let me see how I can work the most minimum hours, get insurance, and be able to make a little extra money. But also, I just need to be in rooms with more people. I've been called, I do a lot of work at my home, I work for myself, but I need something that's putting me in the rooms with other people. And I just feel like the way I talk and the way I am, this job is customer service. It's 20 hours a week. It's going to be perfect for me. It's a dispensary, actually. So you already know I'm really skilled in that. I know about it, even though I gotta be taking breaks, but it's in a dispensary, a really cool, nice one. And I'm really excited to vibe and talk to people. And I just have a feeling that there's someone that's going to walk through the door, and they're going to be like, yeah, I need you for this conference, or I need this because I'm ready to do my public speaking. So the fact that I feel called to do this, I need to listen to it. And there may be someone who's going to walk through that door that's like, yep, and it could change my life. And so the fact that I feel called to do this, I'm just listening. The interview's today at 2:30. I feel really confident I'm going to get it. I have years in customer service. This is not like a job that I'm like, oh my God, but I also am going to take pride in it. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it well. So if I get this job, you better believe I'm going to be the best 20-hour employee, part-time employee doing my shit, and customers are going to leave feeling really great. And I love people. So I think it's a perfect job for me and a perfect way to hopefully get some benefits that I can afford, because that $12.50 really took me out. I was just like, so thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all of it. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. I really, really look forward to this. I'm telling you, I would not wake up at 4:45 in the morning if this wasn't my favorite part of the day. There's so many other things I could be doing than sitting here for 4 hours. It's not like I'm getting paid $1,000 a live. Yeah, bitch, I'll be over here every day. But it's not. I'm doing it because I love you. I love showing up with you guys. I love having an opportunity to tell you what I'm working on and the ways that you can support me, because friends support each other. But really, I really love supporting you. If I'm just the one person that believes in you, I'm just the one person that makes you feel seen and heard, that is good enough for me. And hopefully I'm just opening the door for you to allow other people to see you. Because guess what? I'm not the only person that can see and hear you. I'm not the only person that will love you through your flaws and all. I'm not the only person, but you just got to give other people the opportunity to see you the way that you guys allow me to see you. Like, you have to give other people the opportunity to be as vulnerable as how you guys are with me. Because I don't take it lightly, the things that some of you guys have put in the comments over the years around your sexual abuse. There's so many things that you guys have been so open about in the comments, and I don't take that shit lightly. You're literally declaring things to hundreds of people sometimes, being so brave. And so many times where you can tell that I'm having a hard time and I'm admitting something or sharing something, and then so many of you say, I did that too, that happened to me too. You know how much that makes me feel less alone? You don't have to say anything. You could just listen and leave me out here, and you be okay with that. You don't have to speak your truth just because I am, but you could just leave me hanging. You could just say, wow, I went through that, but I'm not going to say anything. But you guys do say stuff. You are honest and you do say things, and it makes me feel less alone. So, and it makes me feel even more confident to be myself. The more that I share things and the more that you guys are honest and transparent and saying, me too, I do that too. This is my story too. That's what gives us the confidence. So keep sharing your story and know that you sharing is helping me. I'm not just here, helping you. You guys help me a lot too. Okay. All right, I am going to hop off and stretch out my leg, go figure out what I'm wearing. I do have like a coaching call today. Just get everything ready, and so that I can go. My car has been a little, so I want to leave way earlier just in case, because I need to get some work done on my car. And when I tell you all the finances, when it rains, all the financial stuff is just getting me. But we're here. We're doing what we have to do. I have a job interview today so I can pay off some more things. We're doing what we need to do. I can't just sit here and sulk and say, why is me? Why me? I know why it's me, and now I have to take action and get myself out of it. And that means making sacrifices and doing things that ideally I may not want to do to get myself out of it, because I'm never going to let myself down, and I'm not too proud to do this and get help and do whatever I need to do. And I know there's times where I have to plug back into the system for a little bit just to unplug again, and I've got to play the game. Okay? And we got to play the game. You got to play the game. Play the game. All right? Play the game. All right. I love you, and I will see you on Sunday. Remember, I take Friday and Saturday off, so don't be in my DM talking about, I was looking for you yesterday. What's wrong with you? I take Friday and Saturday off, okay? Sunday, I will be here in the morning, so if you want to have a nice Sunday sound healing, it may be an hour later on Sunday, because I don't need to wake up that early on Sunday. So on Sunday, I think I'm going to do an hour later on Sunday, so we can kind of just get into our day and have the sun already up and everything. So I feel like Sunday service is coming back. Those of you that I used to go to my lives on Sunday, you know Sunday is my church. I love it. So I will see you guys this Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay? This Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I love y'all. Bye, Mia. Bye, Leo. Bye, everyone. Bye, Jenny. Bye, all y'all. Bye, Amy. Bye, Sunface. Thank you. I'll let you guys know. I feel like I'm going to get it on the spot. I feel like they're going to tell me on the spot, okay? So maybe I'll just tell you guys on Sunday. Got it. All right. Bye, Emily. Bye, guys. If this is your first time, thank you so much for joining. I'll be here Monday through Thursday, 6:30 a.m. And then you can see me again on Sunday. So we got all week. Okay. Next week. All right. Love you. Bye. Bye, Carly.